Coach. Thank you so much for your time today. For the people who are coming in and listening, I'm here with the head women's volleyball coach at Northeastern, Lenika Vazquez. And Coach, we were talking, before this chat about this being the month of October and breast cancer awareness. And this is, of course, something that has impacted your life very personally. But before we kind of dig into those steps, I would love just to learn more about you. You're a mom, you're a coach, you're an aunt. There's so many things about you that I don't know that I am desiring to know. And so I would love just to hear more about what your day-to-day looks like, both with your family on the court, but also off the court.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I think this is great opportunity to, talk about this, and not just my journey, but to look out for all the women out there that need to get tested and are going through this journey right now, or have a family member going through this journey. So I really appreciate you highlighting this.
Thanks,
for me, every day, it's pretty simple. I get up, I wake up very thankful for a day to be here. And, daily I'll reach out to my son. He's 20, he'll be 21 in May.
Wow.
Can't believe it. And he's on his own journey in life and figuring out what his next steps are, and I'm glad to be part of that and still be here. And my team, watching their growth and their maturity has been really nice, and quite frankly very motivating for me, and it's given me a focus so that every day I'm giving. I'm very comfortable in that kind of like servant mindset where, not only am I pushing them to be the best volleyball player they could be, but helping them see who they could be as just great human beings here on earth.
Wow. That's so inspiring to me, because from an outside perspective, to know what you've walked through. In September, you just rung the bell, you were breast cancer free, but to know that, a year prior to that, you got news that was personally, I can't imagine receiving that news, right? It's just hard stuff. And so going through the battle that you've walked, and to come out and say that you just want to serve people, I think is amazing. And how have you kind of seen yourself grow in that through the hard, that you're like, man, this is not going to define me, but I'll allow it to transform me to be that servant leader.
Mm-hmm. I think just knowing that the numbers are so high for us women, and just people in general. I mean, you have 1 in 7, 1 in 8 get breast cancer, 1 in 3 get cancer. So it's not just my journey. And when I think about my players 10 years from now, 15 years from now, and maybe some of them are going through this same battle, maybe they'll make the choice to live and to figure out how to pull the positive from this thing that life has thrown at them. Maybe it's their mom, maybe it's their aunt. I've had players that have lost family to cancer, so they were there for me.
Wow.
And I was able to lean on them. So it's been a blessing, this entire experience.
And I saw photos and videos of your breast cancer awareness game. The team rallied with pink roses. So sweet and just really precious to witness that. But, they've seen some vulnerable spots in your life, and I'm sure vice versa, being a coach, being with them every day. So opening that door to giving them an inside look at what adversity can look like. How did that really transform your relationship from coach to player? How did that grow?
I think just simply, I'm a human. I'm Lenika. And I hope that that's what they got from that. I'm here, I'm going to lean when I need to lean. Hopefully they saw the relationship between myself and my staff. And, if I wasn't there, they were there to pick things up. And because I talk a lot about that every day. Some days you'll have, cape on, and your bravery cape is what I call it personally. I don't talk about that a lot to people. But some days I'll put my cape on and I can just forge through. And then other times, like I have to take it off and I need to lean on Adam or CJ and say, hey, I need you to take the lead today. You know, I might be a little bit quieter, right? And that's a lesson for them too. You know, your life is going to throw things at you, whatever it might be. And there's no judgment where my thing is bigger than your thing.
Right.
It's just where you are in your life, what phase you are in your life. You know, it might be a breakup. That might be the biggest loss that they've had. And that's life, right? And how do I deal with that? And how can I stay positive? And lean when I need to lean, cry when I need to cry, and don't judge myself. I think that that's a lot of people's, not this generation. I'm not going to put on this generation, just right. People in general, they judge themselves for feeling, and feeling is a part of life. So, you know, when I think about that relationship between myself and my players, that's the message I hope that they get, that feeling doesn't make you weaker. It actually builds strength. And they can get through anything if they put their mind to it.
Wow. And I think of the sport of volleyball, one thing that I love about volleyball is the energy, is the emotion, is the feeling. I mean, you guys have the heart ripped out or put back in every single play. Like, it's so crazy in the gym. But, you know, being a coach, seeing your players give that much energy, be vulnerable, you know, put on their cape every single day, or maybe not, you know, just depending on the day, that vulnerability. Since your time being at Northeastern, have you seen your players just grow up as women and really progress in that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when I look at my senior class, so I came in with a class of 6 freshmen, and right. They're still here, all 6 of them. And I added 2 grad students. So
that's awesome. That's wonderful.
When I think of what they've been through, I mean, it's unbelievable. And they don't even realize the strength that they have and that they possess and everything that they've gone through. Freshman year, I came in, I was their 3rd coach. Okay. Then pandemic. So go home, no true spring season.
2021,
so, right? Yep. Then we have a spring competitive season, a fall competitive season. And then a lot of them are in co-op. So they're working.
Wow.
And it was just, and then their coach has cancer. You know what I mean? So it's one thing after another, right? And they've shown such resiliency. And when I talk about them being an inspiration to me, I think about that too. You know, they're just living their lives. They don't realize the amount of trauma probably that they've been through. And then, you know, our society going through everything that it's going through with the president and politics, and it's been a lot. I mean, and I'm sure every generation could argue like we've gone through a lot, right. But I think that these young people right now that are on my team and all of our teams, they've been through a lot in these last 3 years. So I'm very proud of where we are. And yes, I have seen their growth and I have seen their maturity. And I hope that they continue to grow in every area.
That's so special that you have been able to stick with that same group from your time in to now. I can imagine this is a really special year with them, you know, kind of at the top of your program, leading the way. So that's really cool. And I can't wait to just continue to witness that. But, you know, just a closing statement here for women, maybe speaking to this next generation who is going to continue to face some hard things. You went after the tournament last year, the CAA volleyball tournament, and got a mammogram. You know, what is the awareness that you would just like to give to this next generation of, hey, you know, go get checked, be on the lookout? You know, what statement, what message would you really share to people who are going to watch this?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would just reiterate what you said. You know, make sure that you're getting your routine mammograms. You know, when you're of age, you have the colonoscopies that you have to get, and it is part of the process. And, you know, I almost made an excuse to not go. And I'm just so glad I got that last push. And then I definitely want to leave everybody with a message that you get to choose what your path looks like. So if it's difficult, you know, I'll use a story.
Yes, please.
I hope we have time for this.
We have time. We do.
Okay. You have in every, in Marvel or DC, whatever your jam is, right? There's a villain and there's a good guy. And they always highlight the good guy's story. Like they say, he struggled, he had a tumultuous family, like it was just really tough for him. And he forged through because he didn't want anybody to go through what he went through, or she went through, or they went through. And the bad guy, usually, I heard this story told once, he has a scar or something, and they've had a story too. Like they've had a troubled past. But the difference between the villain and the hero is the villain is like, everybody's going to pay for what I've been through. And the hero is, I don't want anybody to struggle. So how can I help the people around me? So when I say you get to choose, you get to choose. You're either the victim or your own hero in your story, or the people around you. And it helped my spirit so much more to be like, okay, how can I give in this moment? And who can I be there for? Because my team rallied, my staff, my family, everybody rallied against me. I mean, not against me, for me, with me, yes. And all the love was just amazing. And I had no choice but to give it back. And that is what helped me get through all of this.
Oh, I am so blessed to hear your story. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for taking the time today just to continue to use your story to raise awareness for other people. And so it's just amazing, Coach. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.